Hey there guys, how you doing? It's Rick back again. Today I'm giving you a free lesson on scale choices for soloing over the solo section for Chick Corea's Spain. It's a fantastic tune. I absolutely love playing it, and I'm just going to talk to you about some of my scale choices when playing over this fantastic tune. I absolutely adore playing over it, and because I'm such an amazing guitar player, pretty good guitar player, a decidedly average player. Yeah, that's about right. I love it. Anyway, so I'm going to talk you through some of my scale choices, and the backing track that I've been using is from a fantastic website, Bobby's Backing Tracks. Make sure you check them out if you haven't already, but I'll leave a link for you in the box below. But that's about it from me. Anyway, dig in, hope you enjoy it, hope you learn a ton from it, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, let's get to it then. First off, I just want to point out that these are my particular scale choices, and I've gravitated towards these because I really like the sound of them. But there are lots of other different choices that you can use. So make sure you experiment and try as many out as possible, but above all, let your ear dictate what you choose, because above all, that's the most important thing. You know, if it sounds good to your ears, then most of the time it is. Kind of. Okay, so first chord, G major 7, and for this one, no surprises, it's going to be G Lydian. Okay. And that is followed by an F sharp 7 with a flat 9. Various different options here, so I'll go over each one. You can play an altered scale based on the root of this dominant chord, which will sound like this. Sounds very, very cool. Another option that you can use is a half whole scale, which sounds fantastic over this chord, and it sounds like this. With that particular scale, you get all of the altered notes, plus a natural 6th degree, which kind of infers this sound. Which is a 13 flat 9 chord, but with that half whole scale you get some great sounding stuff, very, very outside, so you've got to make sure you resolve it in the following chord. Another perhaps more safer option to go for is a Phrygian dominant based on the root of that dominant chord, so F sharp Phrygian dominant, which sounds like this. Sounds really, really cool, and not kind of too outside sounding. And of course, whenever I'm presented with a dominant 7 with a flat 9, I always stick in somewhere along the line some kind of diminished 7th, because it works really, really well when I play it correctly, that is. Okay, next chord we have an E minor 7 chord. In actual fact, the next 3 chords form a 2-5-1 in the key of D. The majority of this solo section focuses around B minor or D major, and we have a 2-5-1 in D major here. So lots of choices here. I'm just going to talk to you about the ones that I tend to go to. So we go from that F sharp dominant 7 with a flat 9 in it to an E minor 7 or E minor 9. And here I tend to, I mean, you can go straight for the obvious E minor 7 arpeggio, which nothing wrong with that at all. Works great. What I like the sound of is a B minor pentatonic scale. Over the E. Sounds really fantastic over that E minor 7. So I generally tend to stick with B minor pentatonic there, but I'm still playing around E Dorian. So next chord, we have the 5 chord, and in this case, over this particular backing track, we've got a 13 flat 9 chord. You remember I talked about that previously with that F sharp 7 chord. Again, we've got this chord, and I think it's just a 13th chord on the backing track, the rather exceptionally good backing track. And so here our options are very interesting. The ones that I lean towards are the first one, which I think sounds fantastic, is Dorian flat 9 based on the A being the root. So in this case I'm thinking of this kind of sound if I start here. That sounds really, really good over that 13 flat 9 chord. Even though you have essentially a dominant chord and Dorian flat 9 doesn't contain a major third, it still works. It still sounds really, really good, especially because you're going from kind of like the D minor, sorry, I beg your pardon, D major. If I play these 3 shapes on the top E string, I'll show you what I mean. It goes from this to and I find that these 2 notes here, because they're flattened, they really, really capture the sound of that change. So I tend to use Dorian flat 9, but you can still use an altered scale, so over the A, even though you've got a sharp 5, and it kind of theoretically should clash with that 13th here, still doesn't, it still works. And this is a really good example of where you can just use your ears to guide you through, rather than getting a theory book and reading that somebody says, no, you mustn't do that. You know, forget it, just do what sounds good. So, and then we go to our 1 chord, which is D major. Don't do Lydian, well, here I'm saying don't, you can if you want, but I don't like the sound of Lydian over this. So I just go for regular. So again, B minor pentatonic maybe. That works really, really well. Okay. Following chord, G major 7. So we're back to our G Lydian thing. We're still in essentially in D major, but I like to think of it from the root of the chord. And then we come to this chord, C sharp 7 sharp 9. Whenever I see that chord, I tend to think of the half whole scale, or just a regular altered scale. And so I think I would rather go for the altered scale sort of 99% of the time. So over this, I'm playing I'm actually just thinking D melodic minor here, and the reason for that is we've just had a 2-5-1 in D major. And when we get the C sharp 7 sharp 9 chord, the tonality, I beg your pardon, changes to D minor. So I can think D major here over the D and the G. He can actually play D major all over the 2-5-1 as well, but I'm thinking D major to D minor. So D major, as soon as we get the C sharp 7 sharp 9 chord, D melodic minor. Just helps to think of it, you know, as just 2 similar tonalities, i.e. parallel, and just change it from major to minor. Okay, so that's the C sharp 7 sharp 9 chord. Then it's our F sharp 7 chord again. Again, you can just do an altered scale over that, or Phrygian dominant. Then we get to B minor. Now B minor, I tend to play this as a B melodic minor. So when we've gone from the F sharp 7 to the B minor, I will play I think works great. Sounds really, really nice. And also it helps for the following chord, for the B7 chord, going from B minor to B7. Here, I treat that as an altered chord and play C melodic minor. So those two, over these two chords, over the B minor, I'm playing B melodic minor. Then over the B7, I'm playing C melodic minor. So you can see it as just two melodic minor scales moving up a step. And then for the B sharp, and that works really, really well. I said B sharp then, what am I talking about? For the B7. So those are my scale choices for this fantastic tune. So I hope that's kind of given you some colours to add to your palette. There's a lot that you can explore, and above all, I hope you've enjoyed it. So get cracking, get the backing track from www.bobbysbackingtracks.com. Fantastic version. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you guys again for the next one very, very soon. Take it easy.